Hi, I'm Boyd Townsend, and this is my wife, Michelle. We're the Freedom Habit, and we help people break bad habits and become the best version of themselves.
Today we're talking about daily activities to succeed. So the first one I wanted to talk about is actually towards the end of the day. And many of us do this in the evenings. We will go over our day and end up kind of ruminating over the things, the negative things that happened during our day. And what happens is this actually places in our brain so that the following morning our brain will look for experiences to validate what you put in it the night before. So if you're ruminating the night before about these negative things, about how you were, something happened at work and how you felt about it, you're putting in your brain those thoughts.
Right, so it kind of starts off where you left off the night before.
Exactly. And your day, your brain will give you a day that experiences those thoughts that you put in the night before. So one of the things we can do is to reframe that, to put some positive thoughts in. Think about what's called glimmers. And those are positive things that happened throughout your day. Or you could possibly, if you're thinking about something negative at work, you could reframe it and think, well, what could I have done differently? You know,
Yeah, maybe visualize the way you could have handled it differently. So the next time when something like that happens or something similar happens, that you implement those things that you visualized. Like, well, if I would have said this or did this instead of what I did, it might have worked out better. So,
and leave it at that.
and leave it at that.
Don't ruminate.
Yeah. Just set that in your mind. Like, next time I'm going to try that, see if it works out better.
All right.
So sounds like a good plan.
So what's something you do?
I like taking a cold shower. A lot of people I know, like Tony Robbins, and there's some other motivational people who they actually do ice baths. I've never done that. I can't imagine jumping into a tub full of ice, but I do take a cold shower because it actually promotes your mood. It helps elevate your dopamine levels. It puts you in a good mood. It reduces inflammation, so your joints don't hurt as much and all that, and just throughout your whole body, because inflammation could be anywhere. It's not just in your joints. Also, it boosts your immune system because it promotes the production of white blood cells.
That's great.
And I really didn't know that. That's something I just learned recently. And it reduces stress and improves your circulation. So there's a whole lot of reasons.
Absolutely.
To take a cold shower and even an ice bath if you're daring enough. I might try that one of these days. The only thing is be a little bit cautious when you're doing this because, especially in an ice bath, if you jump into a tub full of ice and water, you could actually go into shock. You'll be fine once your body gets used to it.
Another thing I like to do is gain clarity because life is meaningless without purpose and direction. So what we can do is start by decluttering our mind with things such as less screen time, taking walks, spending time in nature. And one of my favorites is hugging. You know, a hug that lasts longer than 20 seconds boosts your immune system and lowers stress.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So, it's kind of like cleaning out your closet. Lots of us do that at least once, twice a year. So don't forget to do like your mind as often as possible, anytime it's needed.
Yeah. One of the things I do along with that, and I should have probably went with this first because the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is meditate. And I know I talk about meditation a lot on this channel, but it's really changed my life so much. But it's like decluttering your mind because you're just focusing on either nothing or you're focusing on positive things and you're releasing negative emotions and you're just like letting them go by and you're not really giving them much attention. I personally like guided meditations. I use a lot of Joe Dispenza meditations, but there's tons of them, and there's different types online, and there's all kinds of people who have them on there for free. They don't cost you anything. You can spend anywhere from 8 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on
Right.
how much you want to, how much time you want to spend, and what kind of meditation you're looking for. But yeah, it promotes calmness, positivity, peace, joy, just your overall mindset is completely transformed. And I suggest that really highly. And I know a lot of people are like, I can't meditate. I can't sit there because all my thoughts keep coming up. Well, your thoughts are supposed to come up. The point of it is like to let them go. As they come up, don't hold on to them and start worrying about them. Just look at them and release, let them go, and like let the next thought come up, or try to refocus your mind on something positive or uplifting, or on nothing, just on calmness, nothingness. So, but that's a great way to start your day.
Yeah, that was a problem I had with meditation was my mind would keep wandering and I kept feeling like I was doing it wrong
Yeah.
and I struggled with that and it was hard to get started. So,
well, the good news is there is no way to do it wrong. There really isn't. It's just look at it differently. You're letting those things come up because they are something that's in your subconscious.
right.
So if you notice it and release it, it's something you won't have to deal with the rest of the day, especially if it's something worrisome or fearful or negative or whatever. Just let it happen, see it, and just say, hey, that's not me. That's got nothing to do with me. I just let it go.
Thank you. Okay, another activity I like to do is visualize because it's like daydreaming with a purpose. So if you spend 10 to 15 minutes daily visualizing your desired life and add an emotion, and that's important, is adding an emotion
Yes.
to it.
Well, can I add this real quick?
Yeah.
Well, our thoughts are our intentions, and our intentions are the electric part of our body, and our emotions are the magnetic part of our body. So it takes an electromagnetic force, energy that comes from us that we emit that actually draws the things that we want into our lives. And that's really the basis of quantum physics and the basis of the law of attraction. It's not some pie in the sky thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's as we emit electromagnetic radiation, we actually draw things to us, people to us, situations, circumstances, money. If we have the right mindset, we draw what we're thinking about and how we're feeling about those things to us.
Okay. Right. And you know what? That's positive and negative.
Yes.
That's the thing people don't realize. If you're putting negative out there, you're going to be attracting negative right back in. And you're going to keep reliving the same thing over and over. So that's another reason to be mindful of your thoughts, is because you put that energy out there. Whatever you put out there is coming back.
Yeah, and if you're worrying and you're thinking this is going to happen or my money's not enough or whatever, like you're just going to, if you feel lack, like you're lacking things, you're going to bring more lack into your life. That's just, or fear or worry or negative, just what Michelle just said. That's so true.
Right. And another reason you want to add an emotion to that is because emotions are felt in the heart. And what we're doing is we're bringing the brain and the heart to a coherence.
Heart and brain coherence.
Thank you. The heart and brain coherence.
Yes, and when our hearts and our brains are in coherence, that makes us even more powerful. We actually emit a field of love or fear or whatever kind of energy we're carrying. It goes up to 29 feet or 9 meters, which is about 29 feet, around us. And other people can sense it, and we can sense other people's. That's why sometimes You could just be 10 feet away from somebody and you get like a bad vibe about it or something.
I think that's
I
why
hate to even
sometimes
say that, but
you
it's
can
true.
realize, like you'll look around and notice someone's been looking at you from across the room.
Yeah.
You like your body is, your energy is feeling their
Yeah.
energy.
They kind of, they kind of come into contact with each other. Yeah.
Right.
So another way I like to start my morning is with Tony Robbins' priming exercise. It's only 15 minutes long, and you do a little bit of like hand movements, and you do some deep breathing, and you also visualize. So, and and what I like about it too, you're visualizing good things about yourself, things from the past, things in the future. You're also he has you send love out to people in your life, and then even to people that, like acquaintances, not just like your family and stuff.
Right.
But he really takes your focus to really good places, and it's 15 minutes long, and by the time you're done, your energy is really raised. And you know what? I'll put a link to this. It's on YouTube and it's free. 15 minutes long. It's called Tony Robbins Priming Exercise. We'll put it underneath this video. Check it out. Give it a shot. I think you really like it.
That's a great way to get started in the morning.
Yeah. Sometimes I do that even with my meditation, but sometimes if I don't really feel like doing a meditation, I'll just go do that, because it's similar. It's just a little more physical and a little more visualizing than meditation, but yeah, it's a good thing.
Okay, another thing I like to do is reframe triggers. Triggers can actually be a gift, an opportunity to look within and find out what's triggering us and how we can release that and get out of the victim seat. The first thing we can do is actually challenge the validity of the trigger. Sometimes we get upset about things. It'll trigger us from something that happened in our childhood, which is no longer true, or actually has never been true, but it was a belief that we had about ourselves. So this really gives us the opportunity for growth to find out, what is it that's triggering me and how do I reframe it to my benefit?
Also doing somatic exercises, which once again you can find on YouTube, helps you release those triggers that get built up in your body. I just found this out today, to be honest. Our brains, have neurons because they're neurological, they're brain cells. But our hearts actually have neurons as well. And I did not know that our hearts also have neurons.
I didn't either.
So our hearts can actually store thoughts. The Bible talks about like the heart knows and the heart understands. And I think there's really truth to that. And actually scientifically, it's kind of been proven that that's a truth. It's not just an old saying. So I just wanted to mention that. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you know what? Speaking of that, is with the somatic exercises, it does, because you can go to therapy and talk about your problems and get over them mentally, but they could still be unresolved in your heart. And you're storing that in your body. So the somatic exercises are wonderful to release that. And I had mentioned that before in one of the videos. I was talking about how I would do these exercises. And I don't do them every day because they seriously bring up a lot of emotions. And, I was doing them every day there, and it can get a little bit overwhelming. So I do them more sporadically. But it brings up these emotions, and you just allow yourself to feel it, realize what's going on, so that your body can just release this, and you will be surprised, totally surprised at the difference you feel. The weight has been lifted.
And actually what's stored in your body, when we have emotions, just normal emotions create chemicals called neuropeptides. And, in a healthy interaction with somebody, even if you get emotional or upset, they're usually released from your body in 10 minutes or so. But if you had something really bad and traumatic, scary, or just sad happen to you, neuropeptides can be stored in your body for years, decades. And that's what somatic exercises help release, those neuropeptides that were stored up in your body. And they can cause you all kinds of actual physical symptoms of like pain, rashes. A lot of autoimmune diseases and symptoms are caused by stored up neuropeptides from old past traumas.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just thought I'd mention that.
And we have a tendency to just pop some pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
we go to the doctor and he'll prescribe something. And I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just saying that this is like a natural way to release that.
Yeah.
Those
and kind of once and for all, instead of constantly treating the symptom.
Right, there you go. Just treating the symptoms.
Finally let it go. Another great way to start your day is to exercise. I know everybody knows this. I don't know how many do it. And I do it most of the time. There are days I miss it, but I exercise pretty much every day. And I really believe it makes a big difference. It lowers stress. It ups your emotions. Once again, it helps endorphins and dopamine and serotonin and all those good things, neurotransmitters that put you in a good mood. That really helps. It increases your energy. It helps you sleep better at night. There's so many reasons to exercise. Getting out in nature also helps. Being in nature boosts your self-esteem, increases creativity, and reduces anxiety and depression.
It doesn't have to be the traditional workout that we think of, lifting weights and, find what works for you, really.
Yes.
Whatever you need to do.
Even just taking a walk,
Right. Just moving your body. Just moving your body.
Doing stretches. All that stuff,
Yeah.
So, all right. I hope this encouraged you to wake up and do something constructive in the morning. And we thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you.
Have a great day.